Okay, good evening. I am Ms. Pamela Jessa Mancheta, currently a budget officer in one of the major services of the Philippine Armed Forces of the Philippines. So my topic will be women leadership roles towards organizational effectiveness for today and next generation of high technology. So in the landscape of public administration, women's role in leadership positions within the Philippine government has become increasingly significant, reflecting broader societal shifts towards equality and inclusivity of gender. As the country endeavors to strengthen its governance structures and enhance organizational effectiveness, the examination of leadership of women within the government emerges as a pertinent area of inquiry. So this research embarked a comprehensive exploration of the connection between women government agencies of the Philippines to eliminate the intricate dynamics and play at their implications for governance outcomes. So it contributes to the existing body of knowledge, challenges, outcomes, and associated with women leadership roles. Second, it offers practical implications for organizations seeking to foster gender diversity and leverages the potential of women leaders to enhance the organizational effectiveness. So another one, it underscores the importance of addressing the gender inequality, not only in the Philippines, but all over the world. Not only as a matter of social justice, but also as a strategic imperative for sustainable organization or business success. So this is my conceptual framework. So the framework emphasizes the interpretation in leadership roles can enhance organizational effectiveness. In turn, this can be supported by implementing gender-inclusive leadership strategies that create conducive environment for women to thrive as leaders. So this framework serves as guide for organizations to assess their current state. So to identify areas of improvement, develop strategies to promote women's leadership, and organizational effectiveness. This also highlights the importance of inclusive leadership in fostering a diversity climate that empowers women and facilitates participative leadership. So I use a mixed method research design my studies, integrating both quantitative and qualitative approach to examine the relationship between leadership positions and organizational effectiveness. So data collection for this research, I use surveys, interview, and secondary data analysis. I also conducted validation of the instrument before I distributed my survey questionnaires. So the sample, the participable departure from historical norms characterized by male-dominated decision-making structures. In the course of time, it is concentrated efforts to promote gender equality and the empowerment of women have yielded tangible results, with women assuming key leadership positions across various branches and levels of the government. So the sample included women leaders occupying various positions, high-level positions in the Philippine government. And I also conducted totals of 150 respondents from the different government agencies to gather the comprehensive data. So a multi-method approach was employed. So questionnaire was subject to a pilot test with a small group of respondents to ensure clarity and relevance. So this was the distribution of my respondents in the different agencies and organizations within the Philippines. So I have two groups of respondents, and the other one was the top women leaders in the different agencies of the Philippines. So survey questionnaire was divided into sections, each addressing different aspects. So demographic information, leadership roles and responsibilities, challenges and barriers, organizational effectiveness and measures, gender dynamics, and work environment. So statistical treatment of data used, descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, regression analysis, and the Kruskal-Wallis H testing using SPSS. So the two phases of analysis I used was quantitative for the survey questionnaire and qualitative for the interviews I conducted. So this was the actual interviews I conducted with the female generals of the Armed Forces of the Philippines and with the Bureau of Fire and Protection. So Fire Chief Superintendent Belinda Ochabe is considered a superwoman for her remarkable management and leadership skills that she rose to be one of the high-ranking officials of the Bureau of Fire and Protection. She is one of the female generals of the Bureau of Fire Protection. She's one of the first female generals. So she's honored by the BFP for her transformative leadership. So she has modeled a leadership style that emphasizes empowering her subordinates, encouraging innovation, and advancing significant reforms in fire and safety and publication. Another one is Fire Chief Inspector Revilla Tias. So her leadership style is hands-on and inclusive, focusing on training, capacity building, and welfare of her personnel, while fostering strong ties with the community. Her ability to manage the critical situations with calmly, efficiency, and fairness has earned her respect within the organization and the community she serves. So she continues to break barriers for women in the field of fire and public services, which is commonly served by male. So another one is the Brigadier General Navarro, first female general of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. She's the first Surgeon General. So she showcases transformational focusing on medical modernization, improving healthcare delivery system, and advancing medical readiness across the Armed Forces of the Philippines. So another one is Police Brigadier General Portia B. Manalo. She's the first female general in the Philippine National Police. She's known for her dynamic and transformative leadership as the first female graduate of the Philippine National Police Academy. She has broken barriers in a traditionally male-dominated field. Her leadership is characterized by her commitment to gender equality and empowerment. So another one is Ambassador Lilibet Ayapera. For her, gender is not an issue. So she's a seasoned diplomat. She's the first consul of Macau, and now she is in Mexico. So she displays a combination of democratic and autocratic leadership style. So throughout her diplomatic career, including her time as consul general, she has shown traits of both leadership types depending on the situation, especially during the COVID and the pandemic. So she has made various decisions which contributed to her leadership and for the benefits of the Filipino citizens in Mexico. So another one is Attorney Rowena Daroy Morales. She's a prominent figure in legal and academic fields in the University of the Philippines College of Law. She's known for her dynamic and impactful leadership style. She's deeply rooted in her commitment to advocacy for marginalized communities, particularly focusing on women and children. Another one is Councilor Cristo Piñon. She is well known for her community-focused leadership, embracing local development projects, sensitivity, and healthcare. She focuses on healthcare because she's a medical doctor. Her approach to leadership combines practical government with community involvement. So another one is Councilor John Valdez of Ilocos Sur, particularly known for her efforts in promoting youth engagement in local governance. She encourages the younger generation to take an active role in shaping the future of her province, of her municipality. She's known for her inclusive and participative leadership style. So another one is Mayor Trina Alejandra Fermaloc Fabic of Anjouan Romblon, one of the provinces of Philippines. Notable women leader in Philippine politics. She's also inclined with the medical services. She's a doctor by profession. She's a notable leader, politics, particularly recognized for her transformative leadership. She, as a strong advocate for women's empowerment, she has made strides in promoting inclusivity and gender equality through her programs and initiatives. So Mayor Carissa R. Paronia is a registered nurse. She's also in the medical services before she entered the politics. She's the first female mayor of the Surigao del Sur. She is a transformative and visionary leader serving the people of the Surigao del Sur, Philippines. Known for her progressive approach of the governance, of her unwavering dedication for her constituents, she has made significant strides in promoting sustainable development and improving public services in her municipality. Her leadership is characterized by a focus on economic development, environmental conservation, and societal equity. She has been a driving force behind numerical initiatives aimed at boosting local industries, enhancing infrastructure, and protecting their province's natural resources. So to sum up, so for every point increase in leadership scores of organizational effectiveness tends to increase significantly. So it indicates positive impact. So the type of institution, age, educational attainment, and years in current position does not impact, while region has a significant medium impact on a women's organizational effectiveness. This was the results of the surveys and interviews conducted. So the best women leadership in the Philippines are often those that combine inclusive, servant, and transformational philosophies. Demonstrated by women leaders. Women leaders in the selected government agencies exhibit so when it comes to contribution of the impact of specific leadership positions on organizational effectiveness. So there are significant differences So predictive effectiveness. So the aspect of leadership is a significant positive impact on a woman's organizational effectiveness. So gender dynamic and work environments is a significant positive impact on a women's leadership traits and style, which highlights the crucial work of fostering a conducive culture that allows room for growth abilities. So the more a woman perceives organizational effectiveness positively, the more she's likely to improve on actual outcomes related to organizational effectiveness. So being aware of policy implications and advocacy does not inherently impact a work proposed by institutional theory, where several political, cultural, and societal factors may impact the organizational behavior and practices other than policy awareness. So region affects a woman's organizational effectiveness because of one's race and ethnicity matter in the context of how a woman can contribute to the outcomes and objectives of any government facility as highlighted in the intersectional theory. So recommendations for this research is to implement mentorship programs and leadership training tailored for women to enhance their effectiveness and career adjustment. So to develop and enforce policies that support work-life balance, and address biases within the workplace, foster an inclusive, culture that values diversity and unique contributions of women leaders, to undertake longitudinal studies to assess the long-term impact of women's leadership on organizational effectiveness, and to explore the additional factors influencing their leadership experiences. So what are the intended output and outcome and its contribution? So when we say policy formulation and implementation, the findings of this research can inform policymakers in developing and implementing policies that promote gender equality in leadership positions within the government agencies. So another one is organizational development. So the study insights can help organizations design better training and development programs for women leaders, so thereby enhancing overall organizational effectiveness. So for academic research, the results can contribute to the academic discourse on gender and leadership, so offering evidence-based conclusions that can be used in future research on women's leadership and organizational performance. So when we say societal impact, by highlighting the positive impact of women leadership, this study supports broader societal goals of gender equality and empowerment, influencing public perception and encouraging more women to pursue leadership roles. So these are my references to the study I conducted. And thank you and good evening.